Due to poor planning and laziness, the part of Reg's girlfriend will be played by Reg.
Best woman voice. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of My Face, this time with a romantic twist. Now, during the many years I had spent as a single, lonely man, I found slushy romance in most of its forms to be utterly repellent. This is including, but not limited to, people acting all lovey-dovey in public. Songs or films where romance and love is the central point. The way my friends act with their new girlfriends and boyfriends. People talking to me about their significant others at any length. Grand declarations of romance and affection on social media or in public. Valentine's Day. Seriously, I used to be so against this. I used to start out the letters Day. Now, whilst I am against many of these things still, and they still make me cringe, including Valentine's Day, which has just become a cheap excuse to peddle gift cards and other cheap tat that you'd never ever buy on any other given day, but because someone told you it's for your lover, you're just going to do it, are you? Terrible. I can at least empathise with some of these on the list, because I myself have realised that I am faced with a future of crippling loneliness, and decided to shack up with the nearest person who'd have me. I mean, I fell in love, obviously. Now, I was a bit of a grumpy sod when it first came to the relationship that I'm currently in, because I was still very bitter about the fact that I'd been deprived of these feelings for so long. I came to realise that the connection that we had was deeper than that of the ones that we had between our squishy parts, and was indeed what humans call love. These are a few things that I've learned since I allowed my heart to be filled up with this pink, fuzzy nonsense that they call affection. Love turns you into a mental person. Some of the shit you do when you're in love, it is horrific. Yes, it's horrifying. I look at myself and think, oh my god, but the thing is, I enjoy it. A few examples of insanity since falling in love. Showering your significant other with unjustifiably expensive stuff that you wouldn't normally buy for yourself, let alone somebody who has now taken your heart and put it in a jar and every now and then stabs it with a pencil. You just wouldn't do it, would you? But I do. And I got something for you. For me? But that's an onion. No, that's not the real present. It's... yeah, we're broke, I'm sorry. You're an idiot. The feeling that I get when I buy my girlfriend something and she enjoys it, it's like sharing the same feels. Missing her every goddamn second she goes out of my line of sight. It feels like forever. I've lost track of time. Oh, to see her face again would be a dream come true. I've only gone to the toilet! You start saying the most abhorrently cringe-worthy shit this side of a Richard Curtis film without wanting to vomit all over yourself in complete loathing and disgust. I love you. If that isn't insanity, I don't know what is. Right, the music I listen to and the films I watch, the bloody sunrise outside, even when I was a lonely single person, I love those things. Now that I've fallen in love, everything seems to have just been turned up from 480p to 4K. It's just like everything's like... And there are songs that I've been introduced to since that have just turned me into a gibbering wreck. I start crying like a leaky sponge. It's unbelievable. There's a certain animated show which depicts the loyalty of a canine to the human, and it is really sad. And I used to well up at that. I watched it recently and I just looked like I'd attended a funeral. I can't be in the same room as a other friend while watching it because, you know, I'll just end up choking on my own tears. I was actually having a discussion with a good friend of mine a few months ago about how when you're in love you love the things that you love even more. It just makes everything better. It just... I love my friends in a different way now, in a sort of deeper way than I used to, because I now understand where that feeling's coming from and how just dizzying and euphoria-inducing it can be. When you find somebody you love, you're just like, fuck yes! The prospect of never feeling love ever again terrifies the shit out of you. I mean, I'm scared to ever fall out of love because if films have taught us anything, I have to burn all the pictures and memorabilia that we've collected over the time we've been together. I have to delete all the photos, all the videos, and just completely forget that it ever existed. And every time I will be reminded of this time, I will just feel a crushing depression. I don't want to feel that. I'm having a brilliant time right now. I'm in love, for God's sake. You know, I don't want that to just be crushed into a sort of a tiny ball of despair every time my mind flashes to it, then I just sink into a deep depression that can only be cured with copious amounts of alcohol and shit television. Fuck that. Not only that, it would be like giving up your favourite food or your favourite drink. Admittedly, those things are actually bad for you, and love arguably isn't bad for you. I've never been sick as a direct result of love. Well, maybe once, but we won't go into that. Sometimes I look back on my life before love's bulldozer came crashing through and like reshaped it into what it is now, with rose-tinted glasses almost, because by the did I have? I had a disposable income, I had a richer social life, I could not bathe or shower for 3 to 5 days and nobody would notice or get disgusted except me. I used to get a full night's sleep with 100% bed cover ownership. Looking back, all these things that I used to enjoy were only there really to offset the crushing loneliness, which, no word of a lie, used to make me weep openly in public if I thought about it too long. Kind of embarrassing, really. Enjoying someone else's life and time with them, it being mutual, is one of the most brilliant feelings in the world. And it's not something I want to give up or something I want to get sick of for a very long time, and I'm sure I won't. She's my best friend, for fuck's sake. Oh, by the way, I'm not saying being single sucks. I'm just saying that I spent so long as a single person, I needed to get into a relationship to experience the other side of it, and now I'm in this side of it. I'm fucking loving it. Surely you cannot experience one without having experienced the other for sort of contrast purposes. I know some people that are happily single now, but they used to be in a long-term relationship and they're enjoying the single side, so they have seen both sides, which is good. But if you're always single and say, oh, I never want to get into a relationship, you don't know what the fuck you're missing out on, son. How to not suck at being a couple. Now, I'm not really qualified to dish out relationship advice, but seeing as you've had to put up with me talking about my relationship, I feel that I should give something back. You know, even if it's clumsy and heavy-handed, just humour me at least. Find someone who thinks you're awesome, and vice versa. Do a sex on them, try not to cry afterwards. Do fun and spontaneous things every now and then so you don't get sick of the same routine. Be honest. Now this is a really important one. Talk to each other about everything you can, otherwise it would just eat you alive like a mutant hamster or something. Right, to wrap it up, love makes you crazy, it's scary, intense. It's like jumping on a particularly hair-raising roller coaster ride or having a particularly thrilling colonoscopy. So, whether you're spending this weekend with your loved ones or a box of Kleenex and a stable internet connection, I wish you all a happy day. That's it, I guess.